We're looking now at collections.Counter in HackerRank, another coding challenge in Python. So if you're not familiar with the counter in Python, it's a subclass of a dictionary, and it's a built-in module in Python. So it's from the collections library. You can import it and you use it to store a key value pair where you can have the count of items in a collection. What this means is visualized in this example. Let's say you have a list. It is a list of integer values. You see that some of the values in this list are repeated. For example, 1 appears here a second time at index 1. It also appears in here. So we can say that 1 appears 3 times. If you look at the value 2, it appears here, also here. So this is the second time, third time here, and then fourth time here. So if you want to count how many times the value 2 appears, you will get 4. So notice that here, what they are printing is the list passed to a counter. So the counter will basically return you a list. It's like a dictionary where the keys will be the item that you want to count, and the values will be the count of these elements in the collection. So the collection here is the list. The keys are the integers in the list, and the values tell you how many times the key appears in the list. You get the idea how to use a counter in Python now. In this challenge, we have a shop owner. He sells shoes and his shop has a certain amount of shoes. Now we're going to have a list that contains the size of each shoe in the shop. And then we're going to have a number of customers who are willing to pay a certain amount of money only if the shoe is still available in the shop. So if they want to buy, for example, shoe size 10, they will pay for it only if the shoe of size 10 is available in the store. Let's look at a direct example here. If we have input 10, they tell us that the first line is X, which is the number of shoes, meaning that there are basically 10 shoes. I think they're talking directly about the shoes available. And here, the second line, they say contains the space-separated list of all the shoe sizes in the shop. So here we have shoe size 2, size 3, size 4, size 5. We have size 6. But notice here, we also have size 6, meaning that a shoe of size 6 is available twice in the shop. We can think of this as having 2 pairs of size 6 shoes in the shop. If a customer comes and purchases this shoe, this pair of shoes, we'll only have this pair left. So when another customer comes and purchases that one, then the shop will be out of size 6 shoes. So if another customer comes now and wants to buy size 6, they can't because there are no more size 6 shoes left in the shop. So here we're going to have a list of customers. Basically, this is the number of customers, so that's what they tell us here. The third line contains n, which is the number of customers. And then the next n lines after that, basically they tell you the details of the order. So we have the first customer here. He wants to purchase size 6 shoes and he's paying 55. Another customer comes here and purchases size 6 for 45. A third one comes and tries to purchase size 6 for 55 and so on. So here customer 1 comes, purchases size 6 shoe for 55. So he purchased this one. Then customer 2 purchased size 6 as well, which is that one here. Customer 3 tried to purchase size 6 shoe for 55, but there was nothing left because this one and that one here have disappeared from the list. Then customer 4 came in and purchased size 4, which is this one here, for $40. And customer 5 purchased size 18, that one, for $60. And then customer 6, which is this one here, tried to purchase size 10 for $50, but there was none in the list. So they were not able to make the purchase. Now this here looks like we have to remove items from a list, but actually because this is a counter problem on HackerRank, this is basically the name of the coding question, we can rather have a list counting the number of shoes available in the store. And whenever a customer comes, we decrement the count of that specific size for the shoe in the store. So we decrement that by 1. When it reaches 0, it means that shoe size is no longer available. Let's look at this in detail in the code here. So I think when you begin this challenge, it's empty. So I start by importing the counter module from collections in Python. Then I have to grab the first line of inputs. Let's use this sample input to understand my code here. So the first line here will grab the number 10, which is this one here. It will turn it to an integer and store it in the variable shoes. Now in my logic, personally, I'm not going to use that. I don't need it. Remember that the first line here says this is the number of shoes available in the store. Basically, it's the size of this list. In my logic, I'm not using shoes here. Now I need to get a list of all these shoe sizes. So what I do is I grab this full line here. I grab the full line and I split it. Now I have a list of integer values which are numerical, but their data type is currently as strings. So I need to convert all of them to integers. And for this, I can map the integer constructor to each of them to turn it to integers. And then I can convert that to a list because a map is different from a list. What I want is a list of integer values here. So I convert that to a list and this becomes my shoe list. Now I need to get the count of each shoe size in the store. And I can do this by passing my list of shoes to the counter. Now I need to get the count of customers, or in other words, the count of orders in the store for this given input. So I grab the third line of code, in this case 6, and I convert it to an integer. I store it in customers. The answer here is what I have to return. They say we have to return how much money the store owner made. So whenever a customer comes and pays for a shoe, we need to record the sale and we need to tally all the sales together and return how much money we got. So for this, I need to loop through each and every single order. That's why I'm looping through customers here. And I need to grab the order. So the order here would be at the first iteration, I need to grab this. Second iteration, I grab this one. Third iteration, that one, and so on. So for this, I need to grab the full line, which corresponds of 2 values. So I can grab the values and split them, and then convert these values to integers and store them in a list. So I will have something like this here, 6 and 55 as a list of integers for this input here. Now that I have my list, I need to verify, is that shoe available in the store currently? Or has it been purchased entirely already? Or maybe we never had that shoe size in the store in the first place. So I need to check what is the count of that shoe size in the store. If it doesn't exist in my counter, it's going to return me 0 by default. If it doesn't exist, it means either we never had it in the list or we had it, but we decremented the counts to the point where it became 0, meaning it's sold out. If it's more than 0, it means that that shoe size is still available for purchase. So we need to record the sale. A customer made the purchase. And here I have order index 1. Notice that I told you at first I was converting each and every single sale inputs or each and every request, an order request, as a list looking like this. Index 0 in the list that I created would be the shoe size. Index 1 will be the price that the customer paid for that shoe size. So I need to record the price, which is 55 at index 1, and add it to my answer. Answer will keep accumulating in my for loop until we are done processing all the order requests. After we record the sale by accumulating the price that the customer paid, we also need to record it in the counter by decrementing the availability of that shoe size in the store. And we do this by decrementing the counts for the shoe size in question. So the first index in my list is the shoe size. So I access it here and I pass this as the index to my counter. So basically I'm saying the value for the key of that shoe size should be decremented by 1. So at first here in my counter, 6 would have the value 2. The key 6 would have 2 as the value because it appears twice in my list. After the first sale, this one here, I decrement the value to become 1. After that sale, again for shoe size 6, I decrement it again, it becomes 0. That is why when we reach that order here and we verify is it greater than 0, it's not because it's currently 0. We've sold out of shoe size 6, so this will not run. So once we are done, we just return the answer. So that's the whole logic. Let me run this code. We've passed the first sample test case. We made $200. Now let's submit it. And we've passed all the test cases. So that's it for this coding challenge. It's called collections.Counter. It was the Python solution. This is from HackerRank. If you like my solution, please subscribe and stay tuned for more coding solutions.